Hi everyone, tonight's video will be part 1 of my Shou Shou Lang video series. I want to split it up into 2 videos because I have a lot of brushes and lots of things to say. The first part will consist of the general overview, the pros and cons, and 1 or 2 brush lines. So I first discovered Shou Shou Lang while trolling around Instagram and saw a post on the Freesia line, which is the one you see right here. Contrary to the name, the Freesia line has Tiffany blue colored handles. After that, I YouTube searched and watched as many Shou Shou Lang videos as I could. If you understand Chinese, look it up in Chinese and you'll see other people's reviews and first impressions on them to get more info. Each brush listing on Shou Shou Lang's Taobao storefront also has reviews. Now to go into the general overview. This is a brush company based in China. It's very popular in China with what I would imagine as a larger facility compared to other brands. The only other brand that I know of that is as popular is called Energy. I've heard Energy brushes shed a lot and aren't as good, so I haven't gone out of my way to try them out. This Shou Shou Lang is an exclusive brand because it caters to the Chinese demographic. If you read and write Chinese but don't live in China, you can still order from them, but since they ship internationally. For those of you who don't, I'll discuss how to purchase later on. I am not affiliated or sponsored in any way. I just love the brand and want to share my thoughts. I also wanted to mention that Japanese Fude companies get their goat hair from China, so it's not that like made in China is worse. It's I'll discuss that in the con area of my video as well. So let's go into the pros. So there's a good number of pros for Shou Shou Lang. It's affordable. All of these brushes you see in front of you are like, I think none of them were over $20. Sorry, I had to think about that. So they're all under $20 each brush. They have great quality overall. There's some misses, but there's a lot of brushes I love from the brand. I love the brushes more than there are some that are misses, if that makes sense. There's very little shedding except for one customized brush that I got from them, but that's only one brush out of the many that I have. To put this into perspective, I have some Japanese brushes that shed like mofos, Tansedo WC20 and Wayne-Goss 13. I couldn't be happier with the quality of my Shou Shou Lang brushes as a whole. Honestly, if I can just have one brush brand of brushes for the rest of my life, I would be happy with Shou Shou Lang brushes, and that's a lot coming from the creator of the Fude subreddit, like coming from someone who's so obsessed with brushes. Their goat and squirrel hairs are either near or on par with the quality of the Japanese companies, depending on the line you purchase. I do love Hakuhodo eye brushes from their J line, and it was hard to put that second, but I love my Shou Shou Lang brushes that, I love them, and I can buy like 3 to 4 eye brushes for the cost of one J brush from Hakuhodo. Like one J eyeshadow brush, basically. And then here's another great thing is that you can customize brushes. You can customize the heads, the ferrules, the handles, but you'll have to work with what they currently carry for the handles and the ferrules. They don't create custom shapes that have large brush heads like the Chikuhodo P8 or Surat 2015 Holiday brush because they don't have ferrules that large. Anything too complicated for them that doesn't resemble what they have in their current lineup won't be able to be produced either. So something like the Suku Cheek, for example, it's a pity because I wanted a red scroll version of that. Okay, that was an awkward laugh. Anyways, let's go on to the cons. So there's a good number of cons as well. I would say the biggest con that they have is that they have inconsistent quality. Some brushes, even within the same line, vary in terms of softness. Also, one style of brush could come to you in 2 different shapes if you order 2. It's not that it's like 2 completely different shapes, but you'll see as I discuss some of the doubles that I have from each line. if they increased their quality assurance efforts, they would be as good as Japanese Fude brands. Like, I'm pretty sure, because these are really good quality for the price as well. And another few cons would be that they don't make Kolinsky brushes, and they have very little weasel brushes. I don't care for weasel brushes because they hurt like a mofo, but Kolinsky, if soft enough, if it's like Hakuhodo Kolinsky, then I don't mind. Yeah, so they don't have any of those. They also don't have kabuki or fan brushes. I think in the past they have sold kabuki brushes, but in the past year they haven't. When you order a package from them and you open it, it smells like mothballs, but it's faint enough that it'll go away within a few hours. I don't know who likes the mothball smell, but I don't like it. That's just something that, like, yeah, I don't think a lot of people would like, which is why I listed it as a con. And then the goat hair, when you it smells very much like goat when you wash it for the first time. So it's, I guess, yeah, I would list it in the con category, but now that I think about it, like Hakuhodo J eyeshadow brushes that you buy new, to me, the first time I washed them, they literally smell like poo. I don't know if it's just me, but like when I wash them, they smell horrendous, and I would rather smell goat than poo when I'm washing my brushes. Anyways, Canadians, they're okay. So Shou Shou Lang's Canadian squirrel hair is the worst I've felt out of all Canadian squirrel hairs. Even Koyudo's pine squirrel is softer. So the Koyudo BP35, which is the softest pine squirrel brush I've ever felt. I guess I can say that Shou Shou Lang's Canadian squirrel is closer to the softness of regular pine squirrel from Hakuhodo, but has the coloring of Canadian squirrel, if that makes sense. So Hakuhodo's regular pine squirrel is not that soft. I think it's kind of scratchy, but Shou Shou Lang's is like, it feels softer on your eyelids compared to Hakuhodo's, but it's not on par with the other Fude companies, if that makes sense. And next we have, sometimes Shou Shou Lang releases individual brushes that aren't a part of any lineup and are limited edition. So that's definitely a con. I hate it when companies do like limited edition and then they sell out and you're just like, I missed out, right? There are also lines that are limited edition that aren't re-released once they run out, like the Saibiko line with the ebony handles and the Milky Way set. I'm really sad that I missed out on the Saibiko line because the prices were so good. It was like, I asked someone on Instagram and her powder brush from that line was like 387 RMB shipped to Taiwan, which is a really good price for Saibiko hairs. I mean, the hairs are nowhere as like silky, squirrel, thin, and soft like Koyudo Saibiko, but you know, it's good enough. It's like, it's probably somewhere close to Takeda EXS hairs. Okay, so I went off on a tangent, but I'm continuing with the cons now. They are so popular that their limited edition sets sell out within minutes, hours, and days, depending on the set. I've like literally seen brushes sell out within hours and days. And like I've heard that they sell out within minutes. Yeah, it really depends on the set. I have a set that was sold out within 3 days because the price was good, but their more recent limited edition sets have been priced higher, so they haven't quite sold out yet. So I would say like their Christmas sets from this past Christmas, they still have like the Red Squirrel eyeshadow brush set up because it was priced pretty high. And then ordering can be a pain since the easiest way for international customers who don't read and write Chinese would be to go through a Taobao agent or a friend. I think Taobao agents are relatively easy, but there may be a long wait time because they ship the package to their warehouse from Shou Shou Lang, then they ship to you. And you know, you have to like communicate with them, and they're the middleman, and then you have to like choose your shipping method, pay them twice and all that stuff. Pay them twice for shipping. So you have to pay for shipping from Shou Shou Lang to their warehouse and then them to you. if you order directly from them and have questions, the customer service isn't that great, and many times you'll have to wait a long time for them to reply, or they don't even reply at all, and you have to bump the contact information. No, contact information. You have to bump the thread or whatever, like whatever you're using to communicate with them, like on the Tap Out app. Okay, so that was a long like general overview, pros and cons, and now now that I'm done with the pros and cons, I want to discuss this. I want to discuss the lines that I own and my favorites from each line, and obviously in this first part of my video, I won't be discussing every line like I said. Ideally, I'd like to go in depth about each brush, but it would take too much time, so I'll briefly describe the ones I think that are just okay and go more into detail on the ones I like a lot. I don't own every brush from each line I'll be talking about, so just keep that in mind, but I do own a good amount. So starting with the line that piqued my interest, which is the Fuchsia line right here. I think the handle color was inspired by Tiffany blue, as you can see. It's like really pretty. They're chunky though. Oh, excuse this. I had an accident on my thumb, so I'll try not to show it. Yeah, it's really chunky. I like the color because I love Tiffany's, but I'm not a fan of how thick they are. They also have a nice weight to them. They don't feel like the Chikuhoro Takumi or the Z line, like the Z series. Those are pretty lightweight. This is definitely like weightier than those. So the line is predominantly made out of Psycho hair and has a few synthetic brushes too. The lettering and numbering starts off with the letter M, like M as in Macy's, and 01. So M01 is the first brush until you reach the last one. I believe it has like 10 brushes or something. The Psycho varies between the brush numbers. So M01 is this one right here. It's my favorite brush out of the line. It's a large tapered face brush, also known as a candlestick or tulip shape. A shape I typically dislike for face brushes because I've had bad experiences with the Wayne Goss White 00. This one, however, is awesome. It picks up loose powder and disperses it without kicking up powder, and is also softer than the Wayne Goss 00. It's one of the softest brushes in the line, along with the M08. So this would actually be the Psycho equivalent to I'm saying Psycho a lot, so the Psycho equivalent to the Suku face brush. So as you can see, like it's very, very tapered, and it's like there's a tulip shape, right? And it basically looks like the Suku face brush, but in goat form. It keeps its shape, and I have no complaints. I cannot talk today. Okay. So MO2, oops, I moved it. MO2 looks like, originally, when you look at it online, it looks like a smaller Hakuhoro J110 on the photos, but it's actually a concave brush. It's really weird. I was really surprised when I got it, and I don't think it applied blush that well. So, yeah, I don't know. I tried it for blush and didn't really. So, okay, so here's the side profile. As you can see, it's like really freaking weird. It goes like inwards, like this. So originally I thought it would be like the J110, but I don't know. So it's supposed to go directly onto your face like this. I used it for setting powder today, and my skin is really sensitive right now. I can't use this. It hurts. It hurts my cheeks. Need to use Squirrel in the winter. Anyways, M03 or M03 is this one. This is supposed to be a contour brush, but I find that it doesn't contour well, because it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of thin and small. It's very small. I also tried it for highlighter and didn't like it for that either, so it just sits in my cup with the M02. It's soft too, but it's a smidgen less soft than the M01. Okay. I'm gonna start getting confused with the names. So next we have the M05, which is these two right here. I liked it so much that I have two, and I kind of ordered more. That's coming. Anyways, M05 is their equivalent to the MAC 217 and the Hakuhodo J5523. Excuse me. I disliked this brush when I first got it because it was scratchy, but have come to appreciate the roughness for picking up harder pressed shadows. So I'll show you the clean one first. It looks like this. And this one's like, if you can see, like at the tips right here, the bundling is imperfect. And this one, the dirtier one on the right, the shape is a little different. It's wider. Anyways, it's not as scratchy as the MAC 217, so I'd say it's somewhere in between the 217 and the J5523 in terms of softness. It's still soft enough for my sensitive eyelids and one of my favorites in the line. The quality of the hairs varies per brush. So I have two obviously, and one is rougher than the other. Can't tell right now. I think the one that's dirty is the rougher one, but like I was saying earlier, there's inconsistent bundling and like hair quality within the company and just like the lines themselves. But it's something that I can overlook because these are like, before all the, let's see, how much does this cost? This is like less than $5 before shipping per brush, which is phenomenal. And then we have M08. Okay, so sorry, I have to like make it all nice because I'm OCD. Okay, so the M08 is this one right here. It's a large rounded, sorry, this is the M07. I'm like getting really confused. Okay, this is the M07. So this is a dense and stubby pencil brush. It's not very tapered. It's more rounded at the top. And it's very soft. Doesn't poke my eyelids, even when my eyelids are super sensitive. It applies color beautifully, and I love this brush a lot and would highly recommend it. So it's very soft. I did not do that with the M05, so I'll just show you how it looks like on the hands. Okay, so the last one is the M08 right here. This is a large rounded powder brush, and I thought I would love this one because I'm a pom-pom lover and I love dense brushes, but the hairs on this brush aren't as soft as the M01. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still soft. It's very soft, but it's just not as soft as the M01. So if the M01 was like an 8, this would be a 7. It's dense, but it's not so dense to the point where it'll over apply powder. So like if you don't mind that's a little less soft than the M01, then I'd say go for this. Okay, and now we hit the 20-minute, it's almost 20 minutes. So I'm gonna stop here and then I will just continue on to the second part of the series, and I will see you guys in that next video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, comment, and like, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.